Tonight on WTOP-10 Nightly News, SUNY is no longer taking SAT scores.
New York State is cracking down on speeding in work zones.
And WTOP-10 reporter Kyle Schnaufer is previewing the upcoming show at Waterman.
WTOP-10 Nightly News starts now.
Good evening and welcome to WTOP-10 Nightly News. I'm Jacquelyn Driggs.
And I'm Kyle Spisak.
A decision that passed unanimously in Albany today to require some schools in Central New York region and other schools around the state to reconsider their logos. The New York State Board of Regents has officially banned the use of Native American names, mascots, imagery, and logos.
Prior to the banning of the logos, the New York State Department of Education suggested the schools make changes to their Native American logos so they wouldn't be at risk of violating the Dignity Act. The ban will now potentially affect multiple schools in the Central New York region. A few may include Fulton City School District, Oneida City School District, and Utica City School District. We have reached out to an Oswego professor who specializes in Native American studies, but we have not heard back. We will update you when we have more on the story. A parking garage partially collapsed next to Pace University in Lower Manhattan earlier this evening, and details are still in development. Police said 6 workers have been pulled from the garage, 5 injured, and 1 was pronounced dead on the scene. The upper levels of the 3-story garage collapsed at 4:15 p.m. today, and due to the instability of the building, only robot dogs have searched the building to not risk more fatalities.
This was an extremely dangerous operation for our firefighters. We responded to a call of a collapse in the building. We had firefighters inside the building conducting searches. The building was continuing to collapse.
SUNY campuses will no longer require ACT or SAT scores due to a decline in enrollment. SUNY's overall enrollment has dropped a total of 20% over the last decade. SUNY Chancellor John King says that making it test optional has become a national trend and that there has already been a decline in students taking these tests, especially in underrepresented groups such as Black and Latino students.
And tomorrow marks the 43rd annual Quest Day at Oswego State. Quest is a day where classes are canceled for all students and they are given the day to check out other student, faculty, and staff's presentations, projects, research, panels, and more. Quest was started in 1980 by Dr. Helen Balmer Daly with 77 presentations, which has grown to 247 as of last year.
Waterman Theater is opening its doors once again as SUNY Oswego's theater department performs an adaptation of Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet this week.
Our Kyle Schnaufer is at the show to tell us more.
For SUNY Oswego's theater department, the end of the semester is synonymous with another theatrical performance as the culmination of their semester's work. But there's a whole team helping to put the show together behind the scenes so the actors can thrive on stage.
Right now, I am on stage at the Waterman Theater at Tyler Hall on the set of Romeo and Juliet. This one set has been created over several months and is designed to be as dynamic as possible for the show. Every single scene in the show, from tender romantic moments to intense sword fights, can all be done on this one set.
The team behind Romeo and Juliet has designers for everything from the set to the lighting. But Dr. Whit Emerson is on the team to be a different kind of designer, the designer of violence.
For our production of Romeo and Juliet, I am the violence designer, which means I handle all the choreography, the fight choreography, and anything that might be slightly dangerous on stage.
In a show like Romeo and Juliet with several fight scenes, Emerson says it's important to convey that fictional violence without putting anyone in real danger.
To do safe, exciting stage combat, it really starts with footwork. So being able to move your body, being able to replicate moves that look dangerous on stage using some theatrical tricks, but also maybe some camera tricks too, to try to sort of hide where the audience sees the violence. So it makes it look exciting and dangerous, but actually it's very safe.
While Emerson handles all the show's fights, Steve Mazzacone is at the head of it all, working to put together the show as its adapter and director.
With heightened language, what tends to be part of the director's pre-production is to, sometimes they get to work with a dramaturg and they get to adapt and cut the script.
Mazzacone has the unique challenge of adapting Shakespeare's work to appeal to modern audiences while also highlighting the themes the show has long been praised for.
In adapting the script, what I wanted to come across was that this was a story about two lovers who, if they weren't together, trying to be together in a violent culture, in a violent society, that maybe their love would have worked out. And so I wanted that to come across, that Romeo and Juliet could be anybody, could be anyone's love story.
Opening night for Romeo and Juliet will be on Wednesday, April 19th at 7 p.m. Tickets can be purchased online or in person at the Tyler Hall box office. Kyle Schnaufer, WTOP-10.
Oswego Mayor Billy Barlow was at Fort Ontario to commemorate Yom HaShoah, also known as Holocaust Remembrance Day. During World War II, President Franklin D. Roosevelt declared Fort Ontario to be a shelter for Jewish refugees that had escaped Nazi occupation in Europe. It was the only designated place for Jewish refugees to stay in the United States.
Oswego Fire Department responded to a basement fire last night at approximately 3:07 a.m. on West Bridge Street. First responders reported a heavy smoke covering the area and a fire in the basement of a structure that they were able to control within 30 minutes. All residents are safe and were able to return to their homes. Emergency responders remind the importance of working smoke alarms in your home.
New York State has instituted radar and speed cameras throughout construction zones, on throughways, and state highways. The first violation will cost $50, the second violation will cost $75, and 3 or more tickets within 18 months will cost $100. This week, troopers will also be dressed as highway workers for National Work Zone Awareness Week, looking for any drivers who disobey work zone laws.
The city of Syracuse is receiving $250,000 to help promote tourism to local attractions. This comes as a part of Hochul's $14.2 million DEA Tourism Partners Subawards grant program. The funds can be used to help showcase local landmarks such as state and county parks, waterways, historical sites, and recreational areas.
And now let's take a quick look at the weather with Storm Team 10 meteorologist Brianna Saunders.
It's getting colder despite the warm weather we had just a few days ago. Will this trend continue, Brianna?
We can see this trend continue into tomorrow, as we're going to see the temperatures stick around the lower 40s. But taking a quick look at our temperatures around the state, we can see around central New York, our temperatures are staying in the low to mid 30s. Looking towards western New York, towards the Buffalo area, the temperatures again staying around the mid to lower 30s. And just taking a quick look at eastern New York, towards Albany, we can see the temperatures in the upper to mid 30s. Now that's all I have. I'll have more of my full forecast after the break. Now back to the desk.
And coming up later tonight, the president signs a new executive order.
And Michigan State University is offering new resources for those affected by the on-campus shooting in February.
What's going on?
Yeah, we go on at like 11:30. It's like
No.
What do you mean no?
It's 10:30.
10:30?
Yeah, it's 10:30.
What do you mean it's 10:30? Hey, don't touch that. That's my ladder.
Hey, man.
Whoa.
You know this book was already discounted 10%?
Wow.
Wow.
Get a close up with that one.
Broadcast news.
Look at that.
Can we go back inside? I want to sleep in the studio again.
We'll deep dive into our feelings in our Real Talk segment. Stay tuned because it's about to get real.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Welcome back to Major Discussion.
Welcome back. I'm Storm Team 10 meteorologist Brianna Saunders. Now taking a look at our almanac, we can see our temperature today was 47 with the, 44 with the low of 37. Our average for this time of the year is 57 degrees with the low around 36. We can see we were a little below average today with the temperature around 44. We did feel that heading to your classes today. It was a little chilly. I personally had to bust up my jacket today going to classes. But looking at our record high temperatures, we can see our record highs are around 90 degrees. Now we were nowhere near that, and honestly, I would love some 90-degree temperatures after how cold it was today. But taking a look at our record low temperatures, it was around 13 degrees. Now we were not that cold, but we were staying around 44 degrees today. Taking a look at our sleep cast, we can see as you're heading to go to sleep tonight, you're going to want to keep your heat off, but maybe bring a heavier blanket to bed and make a nice warm coffee to warm you up tonight, as it is going to be pretty chilly going throughout your night. And taking a quick look at our bus stop forecast, we can see when you head off to school, when you're sending your kids off to school, there's going to be a temperature in the upper 30s. This is going to make it pretty chilly, so you're going to want to send those kids out with a jacket. And we can expect some AM showers, so maybe pack an umbrella with them as well. But taking a quick look at today's air quality, we can see we are at a moderate. This means people with health conditions such as myself, such as asthma and heart conditions, can have some symptoms when going outside, so just take precautions as needed, limit your time outside. And taking a quick look at my 7-day forecast, we can see we have a high around 46. It's going to be cloudy and breezy on Wednesday with a low around 37. Taking a look towards Thursday, we have a high of 60, a low of 50, partly sunny. Heading into our weekend, we have a high of 73, a low of 50 with some PM showers. Again, heading into your weekend, it's going to be pretty rainy throughout the weekend, so it's not going to be great for any outdoor activities. High around 70, a low around 42 on Saturday. And heading into Sunday, we can see those temperatures start to drop again with the high around 52, low around 38. And heading into Monday and Tuesday, those temperatures stick in the upper 40s to lower 50s. That's my full forecast. Now back to the desk.
President Biden signs an executive order to increase access to child care and improve work life for caregivers. It contains more than 50 new directives, but will be funded by existing commitments that won't require more spending, but may limit impact. The order also seeks to lower costs for families that are part of the Child Care and Development Block Grant Program, including for military families and federal workers.
3 weeks after the shooting in the Covenant School in Tennessee that took the lives of 3 children and staff members, classes resume, but not on school grounds. As promised, the Brentwood Hills Church of Christ becomes a temporary home for the students and staff, where classes are held on a limited schedule for the time being.
Michigan State University is providing new resources for victims after a mass shooting on campus, killing 3 and critically wounding 5 others on February 13th. Jordan Burrell reports.
The goal here is to support our campus and support our victims and support the families of our victims.
Monday, Michigan State University announced the creation of the Resource and Support Coordination Office. This office was created as a direct response to the shooting on the university's campus.
It's something that we needed to help coordinate and centralize the university's response to the tragedy on February 13th. And so this office will not only coordinate internally with offices to provide trauma-informed guidance and help coordinate response efforts to the tragedy, but they'll also be the single point of contact for victims and victim families.
Some of those informed practices will ensure that people are not re-traumatized in order to get the support they need. Olson says the idea of this office wasn't created by MSU, and they aren't the first to create these resources.
Unfortunately, given mass shootings that we've seen around the country, this has become sort of a best practice. And so our peer institutions who have gone through similar tragedies have set up similar offices, and they've seen success with that in the coordination of response efforts. And so we've taken that, there's a model for that, and we're implementing it here with this office.
Currently, the office will be temporary with no set end date, but the university will be assessing the need of the resources as time goes on.
We're a campus of 60,000 individuals, and very much so we have a campus of 60,000 individual needs. And so we want to make sure that this office is well equipped to respond to those needs in the most efficient way possible. So providing that central point of contact helps streamline that information so that the resources we're giving are timely, but then also catered to those individuals who are reaching out.
China's economy got off to a solid start in the first quarter of 2023. After 3 years of strict COVID restrictions, consumers went on a spending spree that contributed to a 4.5% growth in gross domestic product, according to China's National Bureau of Statistics. However, private investments are still low, while youth unemployment rose to its second highest level on record.
Cuban President Diaz-Canel is expected to be chosen by assembly lawmakers to lead the country for a second term. Despite a rocky first term marked by an economic crisis and the coronavirus pandemic, no other candidate is seen emerging for the presidency. The assembly will vote on Wednesday to elect the president and their cabinet. And stay tuned to hear how your media consumption might be changing.
And find out what substance is being abused by teens.
We're here for you, we're here for you. This is your channel 2. With sports and news and what to do, we're here for you. It's your TV, you're watching WTOP. Your TV, thanks for watching WTOP.
And welcome back to WTOP-10 Nightly News. YouTube is banning content that features behaviors that at-risk users could imitate. That includes extreme calorie counting or purging after eating. The ban is for videos that are not focused on recovery. For recovery-focused videos, YouTube will allow the content, but restrict who can see it. Panels providing crisis resources will be added under related content in 9 countries, and resources about new policies will also be provided.
Netflix has fallen short on their new subscriber count. The streaming service have increased its subscribers by 1.75 million, but it still fell far below the 3 million new subscribers analysts predicted. The company said it's delaying a planned crackdown on password sharing until the second quarter. That's expected to lead to a drop in membership growth and revenue, which Netflix hopes will be temporary.
For those who binge their favorite TV shows on Netflix may find that production might be on hold in the near future. Mike Valerio in Los Angeles to explain what is happening in Hollywood that may affect your binge watching.
Is a brutal thing.
For Writers Guild of America negotiators, a record 97.9% approval to authorize a strike is a major weapon at the negotiating table.
The unfortunate nature of our business is that everything that the Writers Guild has achieved, minimum compensation, pension and health benefits, residuals, has all come from either a strike or the real threat of one.
The WGA says the rise of streaming and the shortening of traditional TV seasons are making it difficult for members to make a living wage.
We're just looking to be fairly compensated for the value we create.
The Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers represents several major entertainment companies. They've released a statement reading in part, quote, "Our goal is and continues to be to reach a fair and reasonable agreement." On strike, shut down! The last writer's strike came in 2007 and lasted 100 days, but today's landscape looks very different.
We were just catching up to production stoppages and COVID encumbrances.
The impact of a strike would reverberate from Hollywood backlots to America's living rooms.
What you're looking at is sort of shows that you are anticipating a season coming up with in the next few months could be delayed as much as a year, if not more, depending on how the strike plays out.
In Los Angeles, I'm Mike Valerio reporting.
A new study by the CDC found that most adults and 1/3 of children are using dietary supplements. Nearly 59% of adults and 35% of children and adolescents said that they used at least one supplement. The increased use is due to the COVID-19 pandemic, where many were trying to boost immunity. In the U.S. alone, it was an estimated $20.5 billion market in 2021.
Although many adults and children are taking supplements to improve their health, a new study found that 1 in 4 middle and high school students are abusing ADHD medications. The study says more than 25% of students had used the stimulants to get high or combine the medication with alcohol or other drugs. Students in the suburbs in all regions of the U.S. except the Northeast had higher rates of misuse. And Matthew Sheremeta is here for an update on spring sports as we reach the second half of the season.
Matthew, how's the spring going for the Lakers?
Just like the weather, the spring has been up and down for the Oswego Lakers, but some great news for Bills fans today. All to come right after the break.
Jill told me it was Kitty from Glee. Yeah, what is it?
It's Al Roker.
We're here for you, we're here for you. This is your channel 2. With sports and news and what to do, we're here for you. It's your TV, you're watching WTOP. Your TV, thanks for watching WTOP.
What's going on?
Yeah, dude, we go on at like 11:30. It's like
No.
What do you mean no?
It's 10:30.
10:30?
Yeah, it's 10:30.
What do you mean it's 10:30? Hey, don't touch that. That's my ladder.
Hey, man.
Whoa.
You know this book was already discounted 10%?
Wow. Get a close up of that one.
Matthew,
Look at that.
Can we go back inside? I want to sleep in the studio again.
Welcome back to WTOP-10. I'm Matthew Sheremeta, and here's your Tuesday night sports report. Let's lead the night off with some Laker baseball as Oswego State hosted the Ithaca College Bombers earlier today in a non-conference matchup. T-Shawn Featherstone got the Lakers on the board early with an RBI single in the first, kickstarting his 3-for-4 day at the plate. The Bombers came back with a vengeance, scoring 6 unanswered runs. The Lakers' scoring drought would come to an end in the 5th with a solo home run from Jelani Hammer. Then the momentum quickly shifted back into the hands of the Bombers, and they did not let go of the gas, shutting down the Oswego Lakers with a final score of 12-4. And the Oswego State women's lacrosse team heads to Buffalo State, where they look to extend their win streak to 4 games. The game comes off the heels of the release of this week's SUNYAC Players of the Week, where Laker goalie Sarah Kamide and midi Selah Wiley both earned awards for their positions. Kamide leads the conference with 6.27 goals against average and a 55% save percentage on the offensive. Wiley leads the SUNYAC with 33 assists, 72 points, and 28 caused turnovers. The Lakers look to improve their 10-3 record tomorrow at 4 p.m. in Buffalo. And Damar Hamlin cleared to return, and some heartwarming news for Bills fans today. As safety Damar Hamlin returns after suffering cardiac arrest during a game in January. Hamlin has been fully cleared by 3 medical specialists, allowing him to participate in the Bills' preseason workouts this week. Hamlin announced his return at a press conference earlier today where he spoke about his comeback.
This event was life-changing, but it's not the end of my story. My heart is still in it, my heart is still in the game. I love the game. It's something I want to prove to myself, not nobody else. I just want to show people that fear is a choice.
The team and fans are excited to have Hamlin back on the field as he continues to prepare his body and mind for the season start in early September. And the NBA playoffs are well underway as the Brooklyn Nets find themselves down 2-0 in the opening series against the Philadelphia 76ers. Last night, the Nets went to the locker room at the half with the lead, and Cam Johnson with 22 points already to his name. However, they came out flat, and the Sixers came out on fire, as Tyrese Maxey would post 33 points with 6 threes in the game for Philly. The Nets traveled back to the Barclays Center after the 96-84 point loss to try and crawl out of this 2-game deficit on Thursday night at 7:30. And well, since the Nets couldn't get it done, why not look at their baseball rhyming counterparts, the Mets, as they take a trip to L.A. So far, not a good start, as Freddie Freeman breaks this game open with a solo shot in the first. The Mets are going to punch right back, though, in the second. Daniel Vogelbach blasts this ball to left field. Absolutely no doubt about that one. The DH gives New York the lead. And both teams exchanging blows now. It's Austin wins to right center field. Thompson's going to score. Vargas rounds third. He's going to score. Wins with a 2-out, 2 RBI double in his first at-bat as a Dodger. And Brett Beatty, welcome back to the show. This one scorched by Freeman at first and to right. McNeil will score on the base hit, and it's 5-3 New York. But it's deja vu all over again in the 5th inning. Freddie Freeman blasts this one to left field. Nimmo back at the wall, leaps, cannot come down with it. Freddie Freeman with a 2-run blast to tie up the game. Now in the bottom of the 6th, and oh my goodness gracious, somebody call that ball an ambulance. A Max Muncy massacre, his 7th homer of the season for the lead. But the Mets have the lead in the 7th. Pete Alonso into left field. He's going to get the RBI, 8-6 Mets, and that's how this one's going to end. New York wins 5 straight. They're going to stay in L.A. for Game 2 of the series, which will start at 10:10 tonight. Mets currently sitting at an 11-6 record on the year.
And a Pennsylvania pizza delivery driver stopped a suspect while on the job.
Tyler Morell is receiving the hero treatment after knocking down the suspect without dropping the pizza.
A high-speed chase ended in front of the home Morell was delivering to, and when the suspect began to run on foot, Morell took him down.
Morell only received a bruise on his leg from the impact.
I love the way Morell chased him down like a safety. He just like speaking of sports, right? He just ran him down, tackled him, got him.
You know my favorite part, didn't even drop the pizza.
Yep, successful delivery. And thank you for watching our show tonight, everyone.
And thank you all for tuning in. Have a fantastic night, and stay tuned for Off the Clock.
Sorry.
Hey there, I'm Al Roker, class of 76. Yes, way back in 76. Back when the earth was cooling. You're watching WTOP.
The Kinda Late Show with Chloe and Anna. Like licorice, Twizzlers, absolutely nasty. The thought of turkey is just nauseating.
I think you're wrong, is what I think.
You think I'm wrong a lot of times.
I do think you're wrong a lot.
When you look at the number of disasters in the U.S., chances are every area will deal with some kind of emergency in the next decade. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Put the keys down, Kevin.
But I'm gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
I guess I have really been looking for love in this dating app. Yep, I'm definitely gonna call a ride home.